Hey guys, it's Lewis here. This is an update on my Motovox Stretch. This is the same exact twin as my old bike, just a different seat, bigger motor, and different color. That's really about it. Everything else is almost exactly identical. So I'm just gonna go over what I did so far, what I'm working on, and it should be a roller by today. So I'll probably update you guys again, make another video at the end of the day when it's a complete roller and I have everything ready for it. So I got my wheel tabs welded on, I got the spacers cut out and they're inside. I got my gusset on the bottom so the frame doesn't flex. It runs all the way to the bottom. Excuse my welds. It was a nice bead under here and I just double welded it because I'm scared that it might crack or something. And I broke through the frame in the rear because this came already stretched and I had to grind the tabs off. I broke through the rear. I welded in here, grinded it down. So it's a super sketchy setup. That's why I really wanted to make sure it was 100%. So it's a lot of welding. It looks like shit, but I'm gonna grind it again, just make it all smooth, and then when the paint goes on, it should be good to go. So here's another gusset on the bottom, and this is just to keep the frame from flexing, so the chain doesn't flop, it doesn't come off, and just keeps the frame sturdy, and it adds more strength to the tabs it's connected. So yeah, that's really about it for the frame. I just have to weld and grind those holes where the motor mount is, take that silver motor mount off, and then just drill and line up my motor. I got a seat done. This is not the seat I wanted. I wanted like a shiny aluminum seat, but this will do for now. Just gotta round off the edges, make it all smooth, and I'm gonna paint this black because the frame's gonna be silver. So I'm working on my triples right now. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Oh, and when people ask me how I lowered the frame, I didn't lower the frame. The frame is completely stock. The only thing I did was take the tabs off the bottom. So the stock tabs are usually right here. You just take them and put them up here or back there where the bend is. Now, because I'm running super tall rims and tires, I can get away with putting my tab up here so it can lower the bike. But if you're using stock rims and stock tires, like let's say anything under 15-inch tires, run your tab right here, because if you were to put it up here, your frame is going to be super low and you might scrape. It's just mock it up first, put a couple tacks. If you're doing pocket bike wheels, I always recommend it up here, especially for like 16.5-inch tires. So these are 10-inch rims off an x18 pocket bike, and same with the forks, because I know you guys will ask me. So that's it for the frame. Oh, and you have to change out the bearings because I'm using a like a stock front axle bolt, which is a 12mm. This is a 12mm ID and 24mm OD. So I took a porting burr, I went over it in the neck to get the bearing to fit in there. It's a little bit more work to get the forks on because they're not really meant for this frame, but this is the way I found them. And you also need 4 flange bearings. So this is how I'm gonna get my riser to fit. This is the same exact setup I did on my old bike, same exact risers and everything. So notice where the V is, you cut at the end of it with an angle grinder and a disc. Make your cutout so it's identical with the flat line over here, and then you just take a grinding wheel and then just take all this material off. So because you don't really have enough space to fit your riser in there, even if you were to use a spacer up here. Oh, it's so hot. Look how close, like underneath here you have no space. See, you have no space to put a bolt here, so you're forced to move it up there, up to there, and up over here, exactly over this part is here. So you're kind of forced to use it on this side, and you're kind of forced to take all this material off. It's not really hard. It's super easy to go through because it's like aluminum. Just don't cut too deep because you might weaken this area. So just be careful, take your time with it because this is really important. And yeah, that's really about it. It's nothing hard about it. Like I said, my bolt, I'm gonna have a bolt going over here, a spacer underneath the bolt because the bolt can't go through all over through the inside, and I gotta tighten the bolt somehow. So because the threads are gonna go through here, there's no nut on top of this. So I'm gonna have a spacer over here. The end of the bolt, the hex part of the bolt is gonna be around here. It'll go through. It'll be another spacer over here. I could just use the riser like this, just because if you had like long bars, you could get away with it. Or if you want a super low front end, you can do that. I'm talking about the bars, but my bars are already short, and I don't like the super short bar setup. So I just like to raise mine. If you go see my old bike, I had risers underneath here. So I'm doing the same exact build just because I love the way it rode. The only difference is a bigger motor and different color and a different seat. So identical bike. Yeah, that's really about it. I had a lot of people ask me about this, and they wanted close-up pictures. So I think a video would give you better information. Yeah, that's really about it. These were super rusted, so I took a flap wheel and took all the rust off. Probably still see it, but it looks 100 times better. I might chrome these up, but they don't look too bad actually. And then the paint was bubbling up here. I guess I gotta lift them outside or something, but I'm gonna paint this part black. And yeah, that's really about it. There's nothing really hard to it. So at the end of the day, I'll have this as a full roller, and I'll update you guys when it's ready to go and it's rolling. So if you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the comments below. And yep, see you.